guys. Thank you so much for joining the live or watching the replay. My name is Audrey, and today's topic is about strong women. We are continuing the chat from my last video, so if you would like to check that out, please do. So, yes, the other day we were talking about men's emotions and how they are taught to be strong and not express their feelings, and how that usually translates into anger. And I just thought that it would be a good idea to also speak about strong women and what they go through. So I'm just going to start a poll now. Are you or do you know a strong, I'm gonna put that in quotes, strong woman? There we go. Okay. Here's to strong women. May we know them, may we be them, may we raise them. Beautiful. Good morning. Good morning, Alice. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining the live. Lungi, good morning there from Alice. So, I have a couple of screenshots that I wanted to read from my last video because they really spoke to me. And yeah, okay. So maybe let's start by defining what a strong woman is. And I'm going to put the definition from my own culture, because in my culture we are told to be strong women, or we're taught to be strong women. So this means that we don't show our pain. And no matter what we are, I can hear you call my name. Oh yeah, Lungi, I was just saying that what you said there, the quote you said, may we know them, may we be them, may we raise them. Um, Good morning, Mushle. How are you today? So within my culture, I think the definition of a strong woman is someone who continues to do what she is supposed to do no matter the situation. And for me personally, I believe that I am a... Ooh, Alice, yes. We can't wait. So I like to believe that I'm hardworking and I'm dependable. I am determined and I'm disciplined. Thank you so much, RXC. Uh, yes, Alice, please. In this challenge, I'm sure we're expecting a young ho nyana. So, but I have realized that I don't want to be called a strong woman anymore, because even in my little 33 years of existence, there are situations where I was just supposed to take it because I am a woman. And I'm talking about in so many different aspects. For example, with friends, with work, with family, there are some situations where you're not even supposed to express your feelings because that's normal, or these are things that happen. Kay Baroy, where are you from? I am from Zimbabwe, but I am living in Cyprus. Yes, I want to also identify as a soft and gentle woman, Lungi. Very much so. All right, guys, we have 6 votes, but only 1 like. Please don't forget to like the live, guys. Double tap on the screen to like. So I have understood, like I said, that within life, I don't want to be called a strong woman anymore, because it negates my feelings and it negates my vulnerability. So I'll give a simple example of something that I saw growing up, because I grew up with 5 women in the house and just my dad. And now there are nieces, nephews, all of that. But it seems like we are still going through the same cycle. Hi, Joanna. Thank you so much for the like. Sia, good morning. How are you today? And the cycle keeps on continuing. And let me tell you what the cycle is. No matter how you are feeling as a woman, and as women, we know that we have that 1 week in the month where you actually don't want to do anything. There are certain things that you want to eat, and there are certain things that you don't want to eat. You're probably having a headache, you're probably having cramps. But as long as it is your duty to do something, you have to do it. If you're supposed to cook for the whole family, you still have to do it. If you're supposed to go to work, you still have to go to work. If you are supposed to go to school, you still have to go to school. And that is actually, this whole thing of school is actually training girls that no matter the situation that you're going through, you just have to show up. And that's why even later in life, there is a certain guilt, and I feel that a certain guilt when I'm not feeling well and I can't clean my surroundings. I'm in a dirty surrounding, and I feel like, oh, this makes me less of a woman, because these are things that were instilled in my head, that a woman is always supposed to keep the place clean, a woman is always supposed to, but we really negate the fact that we're never 100% all the time. All right, let me catch up with the comments. Lungi said, but I have attributes of a strong woman. I have strength, I can raise kids, etc. That's as far as I take the strong woman chat. The other strong people refer to can miss me. Yes, Lungi, yes. Jojo said, I also told people to stop saying I'm a strong woman. I want to be in touch with my feels. I love that. I want to cry when I'm hurt. I need help because of strong woman. It's like you're not expected to be in your feels. Exactly, Jojo. So let me start with Lungi there. I also believe that everyone has their strengths. And I believe that as women, naturally, we're very nurturing. And there are things that we take joy in. Like you said, you have strength. And for me, I also have strength in different aspects. For example, I love working out. I love taking care of my family. My family comes to me when they want to talk about their problems. Probably because I learned psychology, and probably because I'm just a good listener. But I'm someone that they can bring their problems to. But I'm also an empath. So it means that I take in everyone's problems. And you know, the funny thing is, when I'm going through something, I don't tell my family members at all, because they have never seen me actually breaking down. And I always look at it from their perspective, like, oh, they're gonna be so scared if they hear that I'm the one who's going through something. So I take on that burden on my shoulder. Whatever I'm going through, I go through it first. And when I'm better, I'll be like, oh, yeah, there was this situation that happened the other time. Then they'll be like, why didn't you tell us? But it's just because I feel like that is my strength, and I'm happy to do that. So when you mentioned raising kids, I mean, women women who have given birth and are raising kids, I think it's something so profound, because now that I'm older, I hear a lot of stories, a lot of birthing stories, a lot of things that happened after you give birth. And I just think, imagine going through that without help, or being people assume that because you're a woman, you know how to take care of a small baby or to raise a child. So doing all of that without help, if you don't have help, that takes a lot of strength. So definitely Lungi. And Joanna, this thing, it was really something that I wanted to touch on as well, because as women, we are called emotional, but we are called emotional in a negative way. So it's sort of like we're told, don't express your emotions or don't talk about your emotions because it makes you weak. And I don't understand why, when you go through something, you're not allowed to just cry or to even be upset about something or worried about something, because that's actually how you get through it. And I'm happy that you have gotten to this point in your life where you understand that it's good to be in your feelings. It actually is. Mohle, good morning, precious. How are you? Greetings there from Alice and Joanna to Dineo. I didn't see you, Dineo, coming in. Hi, Dineo. How are you? Sorry about that. Yes. So, good morning, Precious and Dineo. Motle said, my friends say I'm a strong woman. I think of myself as resilient, but not strong. Yes, I think we need to start changing the language. That's very good, Mutle. I don't like the word because it's usually misinterpreted. That's true, Mutle, because there is a huge difference between being resilient and being strong, because resilience means that you have gone through a situation, you've adapted through the situation, you're making the best out of the situation. But when you are strong, people just assume that you're supposed to take everything. And that's something that I really mentioned in my video, that I don't want people to tell me that that's how life goes, and so I should just take it and move on. I want to cry about it. I want to complain about it for 30 minutes. I want to talk about how much it upset me. I want to actually go through my feelings so that that situation is not going to affect me or harm me later on. Exactly, Dre. If I don't feel like cooking, believe you me, I'm not gonna do that. And Joanna, that's something I've had to learn now, because I would overwork myself. I would overwork myself because I didn't want people to say I'm lazy or my family to say I'm lazy. And I just felt like, for example, I when I moved here, I lived with two housemates, right? And please excuse me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So when other people came to our house and it was dirty, I always thought that was a reflection of me. Even if my room was clean, if the living room or the kitchen was dusty or things were out of place, I would be the first one to go and like pick things up, like, oh, sorry, we didn't clean today. But it wasn't even my duty to clean at that particular time. But I felt like not having a clean environment was a reflection of me. So now I have understood that I can't overwork myself just for that recognition of, oh, you're a good woman, you're a clean woman. If I'm actually not feeling well and if I actually don't feel like doing it, I have the right not to do that. Ole, good morning. How are you? Go on. How are you? Thank you for joining the live. Hi, Seville. How are you today? Joanna said exactly, Mutle. You have put it nicely. Resilient should be the word to use as opposed to strong. Yes. Thank you, Seville, for the like. Greetings there to Ole, Goan, and Seville. Thank you. Dineo said, while we are talking about a strong woman, I just want to remind us strength is a posture of war, a posture of anxiety, fighting something that is coming against you. Power is a posture of stillness. Wow. Dineo, that is that is profound, because imagine always being in that mode of flight or fight. You're always anxious. You always think that something is coming for you. How are you actually going to sit down and develop your life when you're always on the defense? Because when you're always on the defense with this strength, you can't plan on the offense. That's powerful, Dinewa. I need to screenshot that because we need to know. We need to know. Powerful. Well, I said, Audrey, same studied psychology. I relate to you. I don't even share my problems, and I share my struggles with my therapist. Wow. So I guess it has something to do with the profession. And I think that that's what also drew me to psychology, because I always knew I was empathetic and sympathetic to people's struggles, but it was always difficult for me to express myself. So I felt like that was my calling. And yeah, every therapist needs a therapist. That is quite true. Mutle said, that's why I refuse it upon my life, Dineo. Yes, Mutle. We need softness only. Hi, Sia. Hi, Mutle. Ola said, I'm happy to help and listen, but I'm definitely a soft babe. I'm not strong, but I have strength to go through whatever challenge I go through. Yes, definitely, Ole. We are not taking on that title of being a strong woman, but that doesn't mean we don't have the strength. Vincent, you are pretty. Thank you, Vincent. I hope you like the live. I'm here just her being a strong woman feeding the baby. Okay, Sia. Love there to baby Ilanga from Lugi. Boitumelo said, hey Dre, you're beautiful. I am strong and loved. I can't tell someone bad things unless they told me too much mean things. And hi Ole, I can't stay in the dirty house. I like the life, dear. Thank you, Boitumelo. Thank you so much. This, wow. You opened up something different that I think is also quite important to this discussion, because being strong women usually means that we don't get as much love as we give, because it's expected of us to get the love, but normally we don't expect the love back. That's why, and as Dineo said, we are always in this posture of we are at war, we are fighting, because we feel like it's us against the world, because we don't feel like we're getting enough love from the world for us to just sit and be vulnerable and enjoy life and be soft. So that is something very powerful there. When you feel loved, you are open to help. And yeah, that was one other thing I wanted to point out, the thing of help. Hi Layla, how are you doing? Thank you so much for joining the live. See ya. Yo Didi, yes, that is a word, Dineo. That is a word. A lot of times strong woman is used to cover up bad things, nonsense like adultery in marriage. Whew, Lungi, we are getting to that. Yes, we are getting to that. Layla, I subscribe to you. Thank you, Layla. Are you also a YouTuber? If so, just leave a heart on one of my shorts and then I'll get back to you. See ya. You are so positive. Thank you, Layla. Ice Angel. Okay, let me end here because I'll come back to the comments, but I want to talk about this thing that Lungi brought to the table because, like you mentioned, Lungi, strong woman is used to exploit women and to oppress them, especially in the cultures that we come from, because we are told to be strong, to, I don't know what you call that in English. We call it kushingirira, and when you guys say it, you say bekezela. But I don't know exactly what that word is in English. If you do, please just write it in the comments and I'll see it now. Like, I'm not sure exactly what the English word is. I don't know if it's being resilient, probably, but kushingirira is something like that. And this is always only told to the women. Stay for the kids, stay for a good name. Yes, stay for the kids, stay for a good name. If you leave, who else is going to want you? If you leave, it's not going to reflect well to you. You're going to be a weak woman if you leave. You have to be strong for the family. You can't bring shame to your family. And that is actually what happens. Yeah, this strong woman chat is also reflected on honor to the family. Like, if you stay when you are being oppressed, abused, exploited, it kind of brings honor to your family. And it's quite sad because women go through so much and they go through it quietly, because sometimes when they do speak out, they are the women that they talk to that are part of the patriarchy. For example, the father's side of the family, they will say, oh, we need the honor and whatnot, maybe because they don't want there to be any complications with paying back the lobola or something like that. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's a very deep chat, Lumi, because there's so much hurt and exploitation there. So Sia said it is, and Alice said perseverance, something along those lines. Exactly, exactly. So it's the same all round with a lot of our cultures. And it's sort of like we are taught that we have the burden of keeping the marriage alive. No matter what is being done to you, you have the burden of keeping the marriage there and alive, regardless of how you feel and regardless of how you're being treated. So yeah, Lungi, that is powerful. Alice said, exactly, Lungi, being scared to share, the fear of being judged and ridiculed. Exactly. And I don't understand where the shame came from, because it is there in our societies that you're the one who's being hurt, you're the one who's being abused, or you're the one who's being cheated on. And you don't share that because it brings shame on you. Because the next thing they will say is, oh, what were you doing wrong? Or what weren't you doing? Or how were you speaking to him? Or what, like, the blame is always on the women. And that's why this strong woman chat needs to stop, because a lot of us are being exploited simply because of that. Ice Angel. All right, Joanna, thank you so much for being here and your contributions. You're beautiful. Thank you, Ice Age. I'm a South African here. I literally love you. Thank you, Layla. Hi, Sister Dre. Hi, how are you, Pranoy? I love, okay. Uh, that's the strength of a woman. So, Seville, what do you think? Let's hear from a male perspective. Do you think that the title of a strong woman is there to give praise to a woman, or do you think it is there usually in society to exploit women? Please let us know what you think and what you have seen from the women around you. Ashley, yeah, it's tough. Why can't we just be women? Why can't we? Are just women? We're just a girl. We are actually just meant to be loved and to be treated fragilely, because they call us weak and fragile and emotional. But when we want to actually act that way, they say, mm-mm, you're supposed to be strong. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I get used. I don't cry when they cheat. Is a divorce for me? No second chance. Boy Tumelo, I feel like this is a deep conversation, because in the societies that we come from, it is difficult for women to even speak out against it, like Alice said, because when you do, you're the one who gets the shame. But I think that the 2Ks, I think we spoke about it in Linda's live. Yeah, with the 2Ks, things are changing. So I'm hoping that society is going to open its eyes and understand that both of the women and the men deserve love. Tembi Makaya. Hello, Tembi Makanya. Hi, how are you? And it's actually the opposite. When you leave, you're ending abusing and ending disgrace to your bloodline. Exactly, Lungi. But they don't see it that way. And Lungi, so this is a chat that I've always thought about, because I've seen so many things in the society, right? And you will find that a woman with 4, 5, 6, 7 brothers is being abused by one man who is probably who probably doesn't even have brothers or a defense system, but they will go to the house of this person, and they hash things out, they speak about it. I'm not saying you're supposed to repay violence with violence, but your sister is being beaten in a house, and all you can do is say, okay, what can we do to fix this? That's not the time to be diplomatic. That's the time to take your sister out of that situation and make sure she's protected, because I really don't understand why people place marriage above protection. And if it's something that can be hashed out, it's different. But a situation of abuse and infidelity, because I think people don't understand the other things that come with infidelity. Yes, there is the hurt, the emotional hurt, but there is a chance of disease. There's a chance of when things happen later on in life, there will be issues with inheritance and all of that. But people just think, oh, you're supposed to just forgive. But there is deeper than that. It's always deeper than that. Exactly, Lungi, you're saying it ends here. Yes, because your family, that's disrespectful, number one, to your parents if you're being abused. It's very disrespectful to your parents. So, yeah. I don't understand why in the culture people feel like it needs to continue just because we need to protect a marriage. Thank you, Dineo. Thank you so much. I'm seeing, yeah, the likes are going up. Amen, Lungi. Curses are broken. Exactly. Because also a child learns how to treat their partner from what they see, or a child learns how to be treated by a partner by what they see. So if a girl grows up seeing her father abuse her mother, she's just going to think this is something very normal. And then later on, when she gets married, the father wants to now get angry that, why are you beating my daughter? That's how curses continue, because it is not dealt with at that particular moment. And it's the same for sons. If they see the way you talk to their mother, the way you treat their mother, that's what they think is normal, because that's what they're seeing all around. And then someone else's child is going to be crying because of what the son has seen. So there needs to be an end to that curse. It has to be broken at a point. When a woman speaks up against abuse, injustice, sexism, she's standing up and shining light for all the other women who can't do it. You're fighting for others. Don't stop. Yes, Lungi. That is so true. And especially in the workplace, especially in the homes, it's very important to speak out, because in the workplace, I have seen this thing of sexual harassment happening, and people don't speak out because the person is maybe a higher position than them, or the person has been in the company for a long time. But it takes just one person to be brave, because once that one person speaks out, all the other women can speak out, and that abuse can stop in the organization. But when you are not brave enough to speak out, and I know how difficult it is, you are kind of leaving way for that cycle to continue going on. So I definitely agree with that. And yes, when you speak against abuse and injustice, sexism, it means that within your family it also stops. So it's a power that we have to stop things just by speaking up. I believe we also get scared of starting over, the fear of the unknown, thinking, what if it gets worse or I will suffer? Alice, that is very true, also because the society has this idea that once you have been married as a woman, once you have been married and once you have had children, it's going to be difficult for you to find someone. I believe that the men that have that mentality are going to give you the same problems as the previous person. So those are not even the men you're looking for in the first place. You're looking for men who actually love, who know how to treat a woman well, who love children. And once you get into the new renewed relationship, you really will laugh at yourself, like, I would have stayed in that abusive relationship or that loveless relationship simply because I was afraid of the unknown. But to be quite honest, it's very difficult to get out of the cycle of what you know. Because, yeah, people always say the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. But, yeah, it's a huge fear, but we have to overcome it if we want better. Hubby knows that if he goes to a girl's house to cheat, he's not coming back to the house. Oh, as he should, because what is he doing there in the first place? As he should, because to be quite honest, I don't know why it's normalized in African culture, in Latin culture, because I know in the Western culture, because of the issue of finances, a lot of men are afraid of actually getting caught cheating. But in African culture, like I said, they will just hold a family meeting. These things happen, and that, this, that, and the third, and things are hashed out. We need to unnormalize infidelity in marriages, because if you're not ready to take that vow, then don't take it. If you're not ready to be in a serious relationship, then just don't get into a serious relationship. It's not by force to get married. A lot of people are enjoying their lives without taking that vow. So, yeah, it's very important that you leave people be if you're not ready to be in a serious and committed relationship. True, Alice, and it always gets better and easier. Yes, Lungi. Yes, that's true. Lungs, it's a pity because we have the very same women. We, the very same women, are the ones to start judging instead of supporting and standing together. Alice, in these discussions, you would hardly find men, and that is true. And I think it's because of this issue of projection, right? Someone is being mistreated in their house and they don't have the strength or the power to leave the house or to go against what society deems as normal. So when they see a woman who is brave enough to speak out, they always feel like she feels she's better than them, or she feels she deserves to be treated better than them. So unless more women see that this is a way out, they're always going to be judgmental. And unfortunately, as women, we are our own worst enemies when it comes to issues like this. It's really bad. We have to protest about this women abuse. Actually, we have to be free of abuse. Yes, Botemelo, because we can't, as a woman, you're afraid of so many things when you leave your house. It's not normal that when you're walking down the street, you feel someone is going to steal from you, you feel like someone is going to abuse you. When you walk into a place of work where you, by the way, had to acquire skills to work, someone is going to give you a snide comment about what you're wearing or how you look that's going to make you feel uncomfortable. Even at some places of worship that you go through, there are still issues of abuse. It's unfair that abuse is something normal to us and normal to the society. And at some point, I know the more we speak about it, the more it's going to be eradicated. True, Alice, we're not supportive at all, but we like laughing at them. Yes, because Joanna, I feel like we as women, when we see someone being treated well, we're jealous of it, not because of them, but because we feel like we can't get the same treatment or we don't deserve the same treatment. So because we feel like they think they're better than us, when they fall, we'll be like, ah ha ha ha, we're just the same. So it's quite sad. And even within the families, especially within the families, when it comes to abuse and mistreatment of women, it's always the other women that will say, this is what we go through as women, don't worry about it, yeah, just be strong for the kids. Alice, that is true, thanks for writing this. Yeah, very, very true, Alice. We need to have a support system, and women need to support women in order for us to actually go. Me and my husband, we have each other's locations. And unfortunately, Boitumelo, that is good and bad at the same time. I'm saying it's good because it opens transparency. And I'm saying it's bad because we as the society have normalized cheating so much that you feel you have to have the location, right? So there should be this level of trust where you don't need the location at all. And if you need this location, it should be for safety reasons, right? But because the society has normalized this, yeah, it's a good thing you do. In all honesty, we were raised by strong women and we were encouraged to pursue to be strong women. Then why do we have a broken society? Marriages failing, a depressed society, etc. When does strong apply then? To me, it feels like exploitation and a green light to patriarchy. It sure is, Lugi. It sure is, because you will find that a lot of women find their happiness once the children leave the house, because they have been going through so many things whilst the children were there, because they're being told to stay for the children, or they're afraid that if the husband leaves or something happens, they're not going to be able to take care of their children. That's why I think now you find a lot of women in their 50s, in their 60s, that's where they are starting to live their lives because of this idea that no, you're supposed to be strong, you're supposed to persevere, this is what happens. I'm tired of that chat of we have to deal with it because that's what happens. And yes, there is something that needs to be changed. And the change starts with us. We have to know that we deserve more and we deserve to be treated as fragile little flowers. Who is going live after you? I'm not sure because Mutle won't be going live today. I think she'll be going live tomorrow. So maybe Lungi will be the next person at 1. Hi sis, hi Dr. Amy, how are you doing today here at the background? Thank you Dr. Amy, thank you for joining. Lungi dear. Kulekani, hi Kulekani, how are you? Good morning Lucy, how are you doing? Hi Lucy, Boitumelo Langa. Where are you from? I am from Zimbabwe. Greetings there to Lucy. Hi, Lucy. Hi. This is really sad. Yes, it really is. Hendrik, how are you doing this morning? Thank you so much for joining the live. Okay, so one of the comments, I'm good and I'm reading some comments and I thought we're in the 12th century. Yo, what? Dr. Amy, unfortunately, we have both a neo-colonism and a neo-patriarchy. So, although we have fought against the oppression of the colonizers and the oppression of the patriarchy that we went through then, it's still there and it's always in subtle ways. And like we were saying, and Alice said that a lot of women are afraid to speak out about this. That's why it seems like it's not there anymore, but it is reflected. We can see it with our sisters, with our cousins, with our workmates. But I understand, Dr. Amy, because it's a very tiring conversation and we have it over and over and over again, but it seems like things are not changing. Okay. And oh, my name is April. Hi, April. How are you? I love April because that is the month in which I was born. So, hi, April. How are you? Yeah. It is a lot because unfortunately, this issue of strong women, it is something that was brought about during the history and the centuries before. And I'll give you an example of ancient Zimbabwe. Women were told to be strong, especially in giving birth to more and more children. And this was because Zimbabwe then was an agricultural society. So the more children you had, the more free labor you had, and the more you were going to succeed with either your harvest or whatever type of farming that you did. And so when women were tired of giving birth, and I can only imagine because my great grandmother had 12 children, 12 children, 12. And that's like later on, I can imagine how many children her mother had and her mother had. So the strength in Zimbabwe was number one with having more children. The other one was with polygamy. Because then it was, I don't know if it was, of course it wouldn't be legal because we didn't have a legal system, but it was normal. And at that point, no matter what the husband brought to the family, you were just supposed to take it. And unfortunately, when it used to go into in not what is it called? What is it called? I forgot the name. But when a husband takes his wife's sister as a wife as well. So women literally had no say in what the husband did, no matter it how it was and how they felt about it. So yes, that system, although it looks like it has changed now because we're talking about a marriage between one man and one woman, if you're a Christian, if you're Muslim, of course there is the issue of polygamy, but it seems like it has changed, but the oppression is still there, and it's so subtle that it looks like it's gone, but this system of patriarchy is still very much present. Okay, where was I? I'm sorry, April. Condolences to you. I'm really sorry about that. Sending hugs, love, and light your way. Hi, Stacy. How are you? I need that strength. I love babies. I just need 8. Dr. Amy, if you are able to do it, if you have the capacity to do it, then why not? Why not if you can? But in those situations, it was quite forced. So they didn't have the choice. They just had to do it. Good morning to everyone from Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining from Nigeria. It is a 9:45. Is it a 9:45? That's quite early. That's nice. Thank you so much for joining. Lucy, greetings there. Stacy, greetings there from Dr. Amy and Lucy. We have always had a legal system. Okay, differently structured and regulated. That is true. That is true, Dr. Amy. What I meant was the new legal system. So yes, that's true, because in our villages we still have a traditional legal system, and that's what has always been used in prior times, but it's still a patriarchal system. So in our legal system, the traditional legal system, women have no say. The only women that might have a say are the people who are in the patriarchy. But other than that, it's still the same thing that is rotating in society right now. Good to see you too, Stacy. Thank you so much for joining. Love to everyone here. Love, love, love. That's why I need strength. Yeah, it needs a lot of strength, Dr. Amy. Greetings there from Moshe to Dr. Amy and Stacy. I'm sure they have. That's interesting, April. Which culture do you come from? Because I haven't heard of that in these circumstances. Please, can you tell me where you are from? Where are you from? Okay. So another thing that stood out from the comments from my video was asking for help. So because we are taught or told to be strong women, we hardly ever ask for help because we feel like asking for help makes us less of women. And I was listening to a podcast, and someone wrote in saying that I don't want people to come and handle my baby when I give birth. So she was pregnant and she was about to give her birth, and she said that she wants to be the one who is giving the baby a bath and who is changing the baby's diapers, and she doesn't want anyone else to touch the baby except for her and her husband. And remember, Dr. Amy, the other day we were saying how, I think it was in Casey's live, that we were talking about how help is very expensive abroad, and also the fact that we don't have our families to come and help us with the children. So with her, she was saying this from a perspective of, I don't want my in-laws to feel like I am not able to do this, because usually in my culture, when you give birth, your mother comes to stay with you if she's still alive. If not, your aunt will come and stay with you, but someone from your mother's side of the family will come and stay with you for at least the first 2 months in order to help you out, because you are just a new mother. But she was saying it from the perspective of, well, her mother couldn't come because she was living abroad, and she didn't want her in-laws to think that she wasn't a good woman or a woman that is dependable on, so she didn't want anyone's help. From South Africa. Oh, okay, that's nice to know. April, sorry. Bye, Boitumelo. Thank you so much. You've been here for quite a while. Thank you so much for being here. Being a strong woman instilled in me a deep sense of self-worth and confidence. This empowerment allows me to pursue their goals and dreams unapologetically, knowing I have strength to overcome. Yes, Dr. Amy, being a strong black woman, helped me and my friends in building and maintaining supporting networks. These networks provided us emotional support, professional connections, and communal resources. Yes, Dr. Amy, we were talking about the lack of support within black communities, well, within our communities, especially when it comes to abuse and mistreatment. And we thought that it was because of this mentality that as women we don't deserve to be treated well, and a lot of women are being treated in an unpleasant manner, and when they speak out, it's usually the women that speak out against them, and they laugh at them and they ridicule them. So I am happy to know that with the system and the community that you have built, they have become your emotional support, that we couldn't get from the structures that, or the challenges that structured be there at us. So I think that when you find your people and when you find your tribe, especially if it is something that you have been working towards, especially professionally, I think when you have like-minded people, it's easier, not easy, but easier to build support systems. So I'm very happy for you that you have gotten that, because it's not easy to come by, not at all. Mutle said, and that was most probably because the in-laws have either said or insinuated in the past that she was somehow inadequate in her wife duties. The sad part, she most probably then suffered. Yes, Mutle, because of this chat of being a strong woman, right? Maybe your in-laws have visited you when you have a bad migraine and you can't cook that day. And normally, maybe your husband is understanding enough because he loves you, and you have been together for a long time, so he understands that when you're feeling well, when you feel like it, when you're in the mood, you can actually cook. But because your in-laws are here and they still have that other idea of what a strong woman should be, that day that you have the migraine and you order food from outside, they're going to say a snide comment like, so you can't even cook for us, like, wow, so why are you there as a wife? And because of that, she internalized it, and so she felt like unless she does something like that, she brings her duties and she overworks herself, she cannot be known as a good wife or a good mother. And to be quite honest, I don't think that you can pour from an empty cup. I don't think so. So there is no one that can be 100% 365 days of the year. So even for the child that you're trying to take care of, when you're tired, you're not going to be as good with the child as when you have help. So it's really sad that women are expected to be superheroes, basically superheroes, because no one person can do that. That reminds me of a movie called The Good Mother. Interesting. I think someone else mentioned it. Yeah, The Good Mother. I don't understand. Well, I do understand. It's a cultural thing, and it's something that needs to continue to be worked on, because we need women who are full and healed and fulfilled in order to for us to heal the society as a whole. As Lungi mentioned, we have people who are depressed, we have failed marriages, and that's just because women are not given the opportunity to just be women. Just like the discussion we had the last time about how men are not allowed to just be men, just be human beings and express their feelings and express when they're stressed. Because when they don't express it, it then reflects in a different way. And then you say, oh, men are angry. Or the sad reality is a lot of men don't have an outlet, and sometimes they end up doing the worst. So we need to cultivate a society where both men and women have the ability to express themselves. It's not every day strong. No one can be strong every day. So on the days that you need love, you need attention, you need to be vulnerable. People need to know, and the society needs to know, that it is okay to do so. Sad, very sad, right? Extremely sad, Dineo, because we need to love one another. That is the only way we can fix what is going on in society now. Okay, I'm just looking for the last comment that I had screenshotted. Okay, I am back. Can you see me? Okay, I'm back. So it was something to do with my battery. But yes, the other thing that I had screenshotted is something we have spoken about already, about expressing your feelings and being allowed to be in your feelings. So, yeah, I think we've gotten to the end of the topic. This was a deep one for me, especially because, like I said, it's very difficult for me to ask for help. It's very difficult for me to express when I need help, because I have always been that pillar of strength for the people around me. So I usually don't talk about anything that I'm going through unless I have overcome them. So hearing these stories, talking about them, they really show that there is so much work to do in the societies that we are. Being a strong black woman has provided resilience. Yes, Dr. Amy, we spoke about this, that we need to understand that what we need in life is resilience, because strength brings the idea that everything that we go through, we are just supposed to go through it. But resilience says that we can overcome our challenges. It can also come with significant challenges for others, including societal stereotypes, emotional burdens, and systematic barriers. I can cry like a baby and laugh like I got no problems. Yes. I know, Dr. Amy, and that's what we are trying to cultivate, a society where you're allowed to feel your emotions just like a baby. When you're worried, put your worries on God, because He's the only one who's not going to spread them throughout the whole world. Cry to God, cry to the closest people to you, be vulnerable, laugh like you said, like you have no worries, like you have no problems, because our emotions are also a strength. It's not a weakness or a vulnerability. Lucy said, I'm learning to do that, Dr. Amy, asking for help. Yes, we do. We do need help, a lot of help. So, yeah, it's important that we can It's hard for me. It's hard, and I'm trying to work on it, but yeah, it's difficult. If I could get help available, Dr. Amy, maybe then I could identify as a strong woman. Yeah, looking, because yeah, we come from places and backgrounds and societies and communities where sometimes the person you ask for help is going to be the one who's laughing at you behind your back. So it's very difficult to be vulnerable with people, especially if you've experienced hurt from the community before, or you've seen hurt from the community before. But there is strength in vulnerability. And like Dr. Amy said, when you have a good support system, it helps in your strength, because when you speak about something, that means that you have people behind your back supporting that. So there is strength in that. There's strength in numbers. Yeah, there is strength in numbers. But when you don't have people you can move with, cry to, express your feelings with, then it's quite difficult to exude that strength. That's true. I have a strong support system, so I'm careful to talk about my strong woman understanding. Context matters. Yes, yes, Dr. Amy. Unfortunately, for us, it's quite difficult to get there. But I believe that this community and everything that we speak about requires a lot of strength and vulnerability. So I'm happy that we have built this community that is non-judgmental, and where we can express ourselves very well. There's a lot of healing that I have seen and I have gone through simply because of certain lives that I have entered. So I think we have quite a good support system within this community. But yeah, I think it's also important to have a physical support system as well. Hello, Meal. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining the live. Okay, guys, so if there is something else that you want to contribute to the topic, please let me know. Otherwise, I think I have exhausted what I wanted to say on the topic. It's been a lot. It's been a lot, and it has brought up a lot of feelings, emotions, and if I could live in a perfect society, then we wouldn't need to keep on having these discussions year after year, decade after decade. But unfortunately, yeah, the society doesn't want to change. So this is something that we continuously have to speak about. Okay, greetings there, greetings there. Okay, guys, so I am going to end the poll. So it looks like we have 73% of people who know or are a strong woman, and we have 26 of them that said no. So that's quite interesting. Akuna said, my mom is so strong. She raised me up, stayed in the kitchen, made a doctor and an engineer, and she'd not yap about her being suppressed or something, and actually built a family and cooked good food, taught. Oh, that's good for you, Akuno. And I hope your mother was very happy doing that, because if she produced a doctor and an engineer, I'm pretty sure she was very proud of her children and also happy to cook for her whole family. Yeah, we're not yapping, like you said, about being suppressed or being oppressed. We're talking about having the vulnerability to actually ask for help when you need help, having the strength to take a break, because it does require strength. No one is 100% 365 days of the year, Akuno. And it's important for you to take care of yourself, because people cannot pour from an empty cup. Celebrate your accomplishments and support each other in your journeys. Through faith and unity, we can overcome challenges, break barriers, and inspire generations to come. Yes, Dr. Amy, we are strong and soft women. We will wear the hat at a good time and change them when we want. Yes, Dr. Amy, I believe so. I believe we have the strength and the resilience. I believe we have the resilience to change what we need to change and to break barriers. Oh, that's very inspiring, Dr. Amy. Love that. Love that so much. Faith and unity. Faith and unity is at the middle of that, the center of that. Okay, guys, so I think we'll start saying our goodbyes. If you can, we can start saying our goodbyes. Yeah, all mothers need a thankful family and great appreciation. Yes, Akuno, it's very important because our mothers have done so much for us. So much for us. When I think of what my mother has done for me, there's nothing. I'm so grateful for her, and I don't know how she did it. Goodbye, Akuno. Thank you for your contribution. Hi, Terry. As you have just arrived. I've just arrived. I was going to ask you a question, but you've just arrived. I love that meme. It's so funny. So, Terry, we were talking about strong women, and we started by saying, strong women, may we be them, may we know them, may we raise them. And we went on to talk about the difference between strength and resilience. And we have agreed that every single woman in this chat is resilient because we have, Alice, because we have gone through so many challenges, and yet we are here. We're still standing, right? And we also spoke about being able to have strength within a community, because when you have a good support system, especially with women, because they understand the situations that you go through, it's easy to have a strong front to change. And Dr. Amy was talking about changing, breaking barriers. And before we were talking about breaking curses of abuse, of mistreatment, because of speaking out and being vulnerable. So if you have anything to contribute to that, Terry, not putting you on the spot, but if you have anything to contribute to that, that's what we're talking about. April said, I'm just gonna go right now. My phone is on like 1% right now, so I better go. Thank you for being here, April. Thank you. MK, how are you? Thank you. What is the last thing you ate? Ndumi, so I had soft porridge this morning. Soft porridge with peanut butter and milk. It was too good. Too good. Terry, greetings there from Mosle. Oh, Hendrik, sorry. So the question, have you liked the live as we leave? So have you liked the live? I have a new poll just to give a reminder to people. I feel that women are the support system of most families. Yes, Terry. Actually, I have a book review that is coming in, I think, 2 weeks, well, in 2 Sundays, depending, because I just finished the book and I am doing the review now. And it is going to talk about how women, especially in my country and in my culture, have been the support system of many families. So I agree with that. Hi, Terry. Bye, everyone. Thanks, Dre, for the topic. Bye, Dineo. Thank you so much for joining and your contribution. I appreciate it. I agree with everything that was said. Okay, Terry. I'm going to take a bath, ladies. Anyone going live after Dre? I don't think so because we were expecting you, but you said you'll be skipping a day. So I don't think so. Uh, Dineo, greetings there from Terry. We like as soon as we join. Thank you, Alice. Greetings there to Mutle. Great, Alice. Yes, we have that great support system here that always likes before as they get into the live. Okay, Alice, tell us, because I will be leaving here just now. Okay, all right, Alice. So I'm going to be leaving now, and we're giving you the platform. So hopefully he's not going to be back for quite some time, and you can rack in those hours. I'll be going live tomorrow, not today. Okay, in case it ends while I'm bathing. Bye, everyone. I'm sorry I left, but I will rewatch. Enjoyed the topic. Thank you, Stacy. So Alice, fingers crossed, I'm gonna see you just after this. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you so much for the contribution to this topic. Yes, we'll wait for you to go live. Okay, bye guys. Thank you.